G'day and welcome back to Our Camino, Our Way. I'm Craig. Ivana, my beautiful love, we walk the Camino in late March, April in 2026 from St. Peter Port all the way through to Finisterre and Muxía, and we had a great time. We're putting together a series of videos just to have some ideas. Today's about our experiences, what we did, how we did it, and how we did it our way. And I'll get to this later, but there were so many things we saw that was you must do this and you must do that, and there's no musts. There's some shoulds maybe, some maybes maybe, some this is a really good idea, you should listen to this one maybe, but there's a lot of you have to, and there's not too many of those really. But today I want to talk about training for the Camino. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've written this down, so I'm going to be reading it a bit as well, so I don't forget certain points. But one of the things that we read beforehand, and Ivana had done the Camino 14 years ago, half of the Camino 14 years ago, and what we discovered is this about Camino training, is that you can walk the Camino without training, but it comes at a cost. And this is important because if you're not fit, the first weeks are painful. Do you enjoy it? Yeah, you still do, I suppose, to a degree. But there's that other uncomfortable part of it. And I saw so many people doing this. We were fortunate because we trained a little bit, not enough and not the right way, and that'll come a bit later. But you'll notice that. What I want to say is that we read the forums, we read the books, we read the comments, and they all said, train your body for the walk. It will be beneficial, and it absolutely is. Yeah? Yet we really didn't listen closely enough. And I'm hoping you listen closely enough a little bit this with me here. Especially for us at 64, even young people at 30s who hadn't exercised that much, who weren't really super fit, who just superficially fit, if you like. They could walk around all day and go for a bit of a jog and they were okay, but not day after day after day, step after step after step, getting up the next day doing the same thing. It's totally different. And for us at 64, yes, we walked. And we walked 10 to 16 kilometres per day for about 2.5 to 3 months. Not every day, but most days. Now, we did this in Bali, because that's where we were living at the time. And so it was very hot, very humid. We kept ourselves hydrated, of course. And after about 3 months of this, it felt really good. We felt fit. We felt ready. We're going to be able to do this. It's great because we're just loving the walks. We want to get out. We want to walk. So we were so ready. So ready, we thought. Let's go to day one, St. Peter Port. Oh dear. It was a hot day. It wasn't super hot, but it was hot enough, 24 degrees, I think it was, or 25. We have dehydration. We're used to this. We've been walking, no problems. And then the hills hit. Steep, unforgiving hills. The first 10, 12 kilometres, the scenery is spectacular. The people we met became friends over the course of the next 5 or 6 weeks. But our bodies, especially our legs, were definitely not prepared. It was tough, really tough. It was enjoyable, but it was tough. And of course we made it. By the time we got up to the Statue of Our Lady, it was 12 or so kilometres later. That was the first leg on our first day. Our packs felt double the weight. And a note on that one later too. Yeah. But this was the end of the first day for us. We got a taxi back to St. Peter Port. And then the next morning we actually got a taxi back to the cross to start again because we couldn't get accommodation in Orison and we didn't want to walk all the way to Roncesvalles on the first day. That was a bit too much, felt a bit too much for that. And I'm very glad we didn't. We hadn't taken the training advice correctly. We should have trained a lot more on hills, up and down. Going down steep hills is every bit as hard as going up steep hills. And in both cases, different muscles there are used, activated if you like. And we felt every single one of them. Now, we also didn't train with our backpacks. Mistake. Carrying in an extra, say 8 or 12 kilometres, or 6 in some people's cases. For us, it was 8 and 12 on the first day or so. A bit more about that later too. Makes a huge difference. But over the next 5 days, we encountered similar conditions. So we walked sore. But we walked. After all, it's just one step at a time. One moment at a time. One after the other, one after the other, one after the other. We were fortunate our minds are strong. Truly. And I don't believe that we missed a day of the beautiful experiences. But we did feel parts of our bodies that we didn't even know existed by day 5. Truly. Yeah. And we heard young people say the same. We saw young people in the very beginning going, I'm a fast walker, I'll probably never see you again. And then 4 days later, they're laid up going, oh my God, I don't know how I did this. And we've rested for 2 days because they were going like a bull at a gate. They can do this, they're young, they're fit. But not Camino fit. Camino fit's different. It's a pack. It's day after day. It's getting up. It's relentless. And it's beautiful. So our minds are strong and our minds carried us. And that's part of the fitness of Camino. Are you strong enough mentally to go when you're a bit tired? Because sometimes it's only 4 kilometres more, and 4 kilometres in normal day life for a lot of people is a lot. But after a while, 4 kilometres becomes nothing. Almost. Yeah? You just walk a bit slower, step by step by step, and it's okay. Yes, you can walk into the Camino. However, it would have been a lot wiser to do the full prep training. Hills, lots of them, with packs. With our boots, we'd walk them in, so to speak. But again, more on that later. And remember, this is about Ivana and I. Yeah? Our Camino, our way. And we just share our experiences, through me, of course. We did see dozens of people of all ages struggling at different days, in the first days especially, just like we did. Did it get easier? Yes, of course it did. You know? But was it too hard? No, not at all. But it could have been more pleasant, if you understand what I mean. Bon Camino. Ultrea et Suzère.